Aloha. Good evening. This is Andrew Aloha Live out of Flagstaff, Arizona with Spiritual Image Productions on Facebook Live and YouTube. Establishing and maintaining right relationships through human values. Aloha and welcome to tonight's update. Monthly, yearly, weekly, I don't know, something like that. Update. Tonight, there's a number of things that I want to talk about. And then we'll go into the movie review, and so our movies review. So first of all, I want to congratulate my sister. She became a grandmother about 2 days ago, for the first time ever. So she's all excited about that, and I think somehow she was pretty topsy-turvy. I don't know if that's the right word, but she's pretty I don't know, dazed and confused maybe, because her daughter lives on the other side of the country, and so she didn't get to be there personally to experience the birthing process or the birth, but anyhow, I either she texted her or called her or something, but she found out just a couple days that she's a grandmother. So congratulations, sister. And now you're going to have all kinds of fun spoiling your grandkid. Why not? Now I believe, and I got a let me see. I gotta look this up because I forgot to, but I'm not sure who all the winners were for election day. But congratulations to y'all, right? So in honor of Election Day, I watched a movie called Swing State with and it's actually an old, well, it's not too old of a movie, but it's it's 2008 with Kevin Costner, Madeline Carroll, Paula Patton, Kelsey Grammer, Dennis Hopper, George Lopez, Judge Reinhold, Willie Nelson, and I don't know if that's all. Yeah, and Willie Nelson. So anyhow, for all of y'all that have won a seat or that are in the hot seat, of course, I recommend that you watch this movie. You know, when you're being of service in a place of office, and you're out there in a place of power, and it's really not real power. You know, a lot of people that are in those positions think that they got all this power and they can do anything and they can do anything they want. I got news for you. Unless you can beat up God or Goddess and really take them out and really cram all kinds of stuff down their throat and really control them and overpower them, the power that you have is not shit. It's really not shit. As powerful as you think you are, you got another thing coming. I don't care what position you hold on this planet. You're not as powerful as you think you are. Period. Karma is a universal law that applies to everyone in the universe. Not just this planet or you, but the universe. Nobody can supersede or bypass karma, whether you like it or not. So all the bullshit that all you people that are in power are putting out there, and all the fraud and all the scandals that you're involved in and doing, all the, what's the word I want to use, corruption that you're involved in now, I would really think about going further with that corruption, because it's going to come back to you. I guarantee you 100%, or your money back, right? So I don't care who you are on this planet. Your karma is going to come back to you one way or another, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Right, Krista? Exactly. So, anyhow, if you're going to be involved with karma, I would be involved on the good side, on the side of the light, right, rather than the darkness. Of course, the darkness is good to promote change, but you know, you're not going to like it if your karma is not good. I guarantee you 100%. I don't care who you think you are, period. So anyhow, and even the biggest corporations have had their faces smashed into the ground, in the mud. The biggest corporations on this planet have had their faces smashed in the mud. Think about it. So anyhow, if you're gonna promote any kind of karma and support any kind of karma out there, or create any kind of karma out there, I would definitely consider karma that's supportive and helpful and of service to humanity, of service to this planet, of service to all beings and entities on this planet. I can't say that, you know, you can support evilness. You know, evilness has its job. It's there to promote change, but when it comes to the end of the day, light always supersedes the darkness. No matter who you are, what you are, where you're at, what you're doing, it always does. It really does. So, again, all you people that are in a position of office, I would watch this movie called Swing State. With Kevin Costner and his daughter Madeline Carroll, and you know, Kevin Costner is, you know, he's a has-been, and he you know, he's a drunk or whatever, and he just doesn't have any hope left anymore. So he just sleeps in and just gets by on the minimum, right? On the minimum daily duties, and that serves him fine. But Madeline, who's a true patriot, who's a senator or a president waiting to happen, you know, type of girl. She's only like what, 10 years old or something like that. They do this essay about what it means to be involved with politics or whatever, and she does a pretty good speech in that process. So you're going to want to listen to that speech, right? Politician, whoever you are, lawyer, whoever you are, person of power, whoever you are, you're going to want to listen to that speech. Anyhow, and now it was kind of cheesy in a way that how Kevin Costner ended up being the very last vote to count for that's going to be basically choose who's going to become president, right? That was kind of cheesy, but again, it was interesting in that Kevin Costner, you know, through this process, finds his voice as an American, as a politician possibly, but as an American. And when he goes out and does this debate, he promotes this debate with the president of the United States in the movie, and the a person that's running against him, and he does his speech, and it's nicely done, but again, you're going to want to listen to that speech, whoever you are, because it's not about what you want, whoever you are in office. It's about what the Americans want. That's what needs to happen. You need to support and promote what Americans want, the majority of the people, right? And whatever it takes for you to get on that table and give people what they want as citizens, as law-abiding citizens, as humanitarian or humane citizens. You're going to want to give them what they want. And that's what needs to happen. Corporations, as big as they think they are, they don't run this planet, this country. They don't run this country. They think they do, but they don't. The people, if they didn't have people to work for them, they wouldn't have shit. They wouldn't have a product, and they wouldn't have a service, period. So whoever you are that owns or operates or is in charge of this corporation, of any said corporation, think about it. Are you really in charge of, are you really running the planet? Are you really running America? Really? Think about it. Anyhow, very interesting movie. Again, if you're in a position of power, especially if you're in a position of office, you're going to want to watch this movie. Get back down to basics. America needs to be authentic. You need to be transparent. You need to be of service to your people, to America, to whatever country you're serving. You need to be of service to those that you're leading. Because if you don't have a flock, if you don't have people to follow you, you're no longer a leader. You're no longer in a position of power. You aren't shit. Period. Think about that. So anyhow, with that in mind, we got Veterans Day coming up on Monday. If you are a veteran, there's all kinds of aloha. Leslie, thanks for stopping by. If you are a veteran, there's all kinds of yeah, aloha. If you're a veteran, there's all kinds of stuff you can get in on Monday coming up. And there is well, here in Flagstaff, I know there's a lot of restaurants and a lot of companies here that give back to veterans, and so I can appreciate that as a veteran, and I'm sure all the other veterans appreciate that as well. So thank you to all those supporting veterans on Veterans Day, and may Monday be an awesome, blessed day for you all. For all the I don't know where I didn't get a chance to research it, but concerning the California wildfires. But if you have a minute or two, send out some love and light and healing and prayers to all those people. I think there's still probably some fires going wild out there in California. This seems to be an ongoing thing every year, but it doesn't hurt to put out some love and light and some good intentions for those people. And those people, especially those people fighting those fires, that they're safe and out there just doing their due. They're heroes, but they don't give a shit about being a hero. They're out there doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're doing their job. That's their job, and they do it like it's nothing, like it's an everyday thing. But that's what they train for, and so we thank them anyhow. All you first responders, thank you very much for helping those people out. Richard Gere, congratulations! I believe he just got married to some young woman. That's a done deal. But that's the nice thing about being think this is working still. So anyhow, yeah, the internet here is kind of sucky, but what can I say? So anyhow, Richard Gere, he come to find out he's having a kid. His wife or his girlfriend, I think his wife, is pregnant, and he's about to have a kid. So, yeah. As an old guy, I hate to tell you, Richard, I don't know if that's the best thing for you. That's the other side of the story, is that, you know, you're an older guy, and you're going to have to deal with a lot of energy coming through, right, with those kids. So anyhow, now I was going over some information on the internet, and come to find out, some kid just died. He was doing they were doing some kind of marathon of playing games or gaming, and I don't know if he died of hunger or what. I didn't get a chance to read all of it, but he died. He from gaming all night long or whatever. So, you know, you kids, just, you know, take care of you, right? You know, sometimes your mom and your dad, your friends, your family don't have time to watch over you because they're busy doing whatever. And not that they don't care necessarily, but you got to watch out for you too, right? It works both ways. So if you're not watching out, then I think you're gonna you know, run into problems. So just be safe, all right? Do you want to tag Richard Schulman in this video? I don't even know who Richard Schulman is, dude, but okay, fine. Yelp. Oh, so I had a long talk with some Yelp employee or staff yesterday, and I was able to set up. If you go to Yelp and look up Psychic in Flagstaff, Arizona, or look up Spiritual Image Productions on Yelp or whatever in Arizona or whatever, Flagstaff, you'll find my page there, and I was able to set up a discount. Now, this is the nice thing about Yelp. There's some things that I didn't really approve of, and I didn't think were worth it. But there's a lot of other stuff that they have, a lot of other, I don't know what you want to call it, but anyhow, things that they have available that are helpful. So one of the things I was able to do is set up a coupon so you can get $50 off on a reading for an hour, $75 for an hour reading, and then you can also go on to Yelp and buy readings for your family or friends for Christmas or their birthday or whatever. So I was able to set that up pretty easily. So I don't know if you got a business or whatever, but you can do that as well. And anyhow, it's pretty user friendly. So I was happy about that. So anyhow, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, email me, text me, Facebook me, whatever, and we'll go from there. So, oh, and if you decide you want to get a reading from me, because I have all these idiots that are calling me for insurance quotes, all kinds of crap that serves me no purpose at all most of the time. So I just don't even answer my phone a lot of times. So if you want a reading, and you want to get a reading from me, leave a message and let me know. If you're really serious about getting a reading, leave me a message, because otherwise I may never answer your call, right? So that's the best thing, and that way I can get back to you, and even better yet, confirm the reading. Go to my website, spiritualimageproductions.com. On the left hand side, you can confirm a reading for an hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever. Or even better yet, you can go to Yelp and get a reading for an hour for $75, $50 off with their discount coupon on there. So That's probably the best thing if you want to get a discount. So let me think about this. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the movies. I watched a number of movies, and some were disappointing, and some were actually really interesting. They were fun to watch. Again, Swing Vote was one of them. There was some cheesy stuff in it, but for the most part, I gave it a 2 thumbs up. Just because people, politicians need to get down to earth and get real and be authentic and be transparent when they're in that office, because nothing else it works. There's no reason for nothing less than that. Period. Otherwise it's just bullshit. Now the other movie I just watched yesterday, it was actually better than I thought. Hobbs and Shaw, with Dwayne Johnson, Jason Statham, Vanessa Kirby, Helen Mirren, Idris Elba, came out this year, and it just got off the circuit a few weeks ago, but it was really funny. Now this movie was right on target. This movie was big time on target, because it goes into the making of mankind into integrating mankind, literally human bodies, with robots and technology. So this guy, I don't know if he gets killed, but somewhere down the road, Idris, let me see, what's his name? Idris Elba, he somehow gets taken out, and some company takes him and makes him into a cyborg, or whatever you want to call him, some kind of robot, half mankind, and now he's like a badass, right? He can, he's got all this intricate technology going on inside his mind and with his body, and so, but it was interesting because at the very end, even technology, as advanced as it is or can be, it still is no match for mankind, for the basics. So it doesn't matter how advanced technology is. Technology can never, and probably will never, experience love, wisdom. It can be intelligent, but it doesn't mean that technology is wise, because technology can't nor will it make decisions based upon heart, mind, body, and soul, and being wise. Again, they can always win on a chess game because they know every move available, but that doesn't mean that every once in a while they'll let some kid win because they want to support or inspire courage and confidence in a kid or whatever. Technology will never be wise like mankind can be and will be. So anyhow, that was a very interesting movie. It was funny. They had a lot of really awesome scenery in it. Some stuff from Hawaii. And at the end, Hawaii kicks ass. That was the best part of it. So that was pretty cool. No offense, nothing personal, right? But that's besides the point. So Dwayne Johnson, Michael Caine, Josh. No. Again, Dwayne Johnson, Jason Statham. I guess I've been watching a lot of movies with Dwayne Johnson and what's that other Biggs? I think his name is Jason Biggs. But anyhow, the other movie I watched, which came out last year, was Journey number 2. I haven't seen number 1, but that was interesting. There, Journey number 2, the Mysterious Island, with Dwayne Johnson, Michael Caine, Josh Hutcherson, Vanessa Hudgens, Louise Guzman, Kristen Davis. Very interesting movie. A lot, and now that's a movie you'll want to watch on the big screen. Wow, they had some really amazing scenes in that, in the background. So that was pretty cool. Interesting animals, interesting. Like they had these little elephants that were everything that's generally big on the planet was small, and everything that's generally small was big. So it was interesting. Dwayne Johnson is Josh Hutcherson's stepdad, and Josh doesn't approve of him being his stepdad. So they go through all this ego crap, father son crap going on, and so in the end they find they have to get back home. So they finally that there's this island that nobody's been able to find, and so they finally find it, and they end up going through like this hurricane, all stuff, and then they get back on this submarine that was been there for years and years and years, and nobody's able to been able to find it. So they have this map, and they find the submarine, and they get home. So Josh and Dwayne Johnson get inside the submarine and save everyone and get everybody home. My hero. Okay, fine, whatever. So anyhow, that was an interesting movie. Just because of the scenery, it was really cool. So there was some interesting stuff. So and then Josh Hutcherson, him and Vanessa Hudgens have this little love affair thing going on. First romance of my first love type of thing. Oh, how sweet. Whatever. Okay, bye. Whatever. But anyhow, that was interesting, and it wasn't that interesting, but it was interesting. But anyhow, that was interesting. If you have a teenager or some kids, maybe that's a movie you want to watch with them, and just to encourage them to be explorational and curious and open-minded to life in general. So Sing Street. Now, if you have a kid that's a musician, oh my God, that's an amazing movie to watch. That was an awesome movie. I really liked it. It came out 2016. Ferdia Walsh-Pilo and Lucy Boynton, who was also what was that movie? Bohemian Rhapsody, and that's why. Anyhow, she Sing Street had a lot of really good music. This guy this kid gets transferred to this school. He's at a private school, so he ends up at a public school in England, right? And so he runs into Lucy Boynton, who's one of those rebels that decides not to want to go to school, not to go to school, so anyhow, he to impress her, he forms this band, right? So he gets together with this band, and they get together and do all these rehearsals and stuff. But they had some, I don't know how original all that music was, but there was a lot of really good music, and a lot of it sounded pretty original. So and that's one of the things that England, I think, is really noted for, is not only their lighting in plays, but movies, but also music. I'm pretty sure that England has I think they have a history of having good music in movies. So, and this was this was an exceptional movie with a lot of good music in it. So it's pretty cool just to listen to the music. But anyhow, you can check it out. And in the end, Ferdia and Lucy sail off into the sea, right, into the ocean, and so interesting, nice finish, nice ending. So anyhow, My Best Friend's Girl with Dana Cook, Kate Hudson, Jason Biggs, Alec Baldwin, Lizzie Kaplan, and that was a good part for all those people. It came out 2008. It's actually an older movie, but man, that was funny. Oh my God, yeah. Dana Cook is guys hire them to hire him so that he can go out with their ex-girlfriends and be a real asshole to them, right? And then the ex-girlfriends end up going back to the boyfriends because they couldn't believe that they were going out with such a guy, right? And compared to the ex-boyfriend, that he was a nightmare to go out with, right? So it's like that. So anyhow, Jason Biggs is his roommate in this movie, right? And he's going out with Kate Hudson, but she just wants to be friends. She doesn't want to be involved with him intimately. So Jason, of course, hires Dana Cook, which he would never do, right? Duh. But he does it, and everything backfires because Kate Hudson is like his match, right? His soulmate. That everything he throws at her, she just reverses and throws it right back at him, right? So it's like that. And Alice Baldwin is her dad, and so is Dana Cook's dad, and he's like some kind of schmoozer, right? He's really hot with the women, and he that's where Dana Cook learns how to pick up women is from his dad, right? So it's like that. And Lizzie Kaplan is Kate Hudson's roommate. So she gives Kate all these tips on how to deal with Dana, right? And so and also Jason, I think. So anyhow, it's a topsy-turvy movie. It's funny. If you got a girlfriend or you just want some kind of female friend or guy friend, that's probably a movie to watch and get a good laugh out of it. But anyhow, Over Her Dead Body it came out 2007. Lake Bell, Paul Rudd, Eva Longoria, Parker, Jason Biggs again. There's Lindsay Sloan. That was another funny movie. Oh my God, the Lake Bell is a psychic medium, right? And so she does these readings and these seances or whatever. And Paul Rudd breaks up with his girl. Oh no, he on the day that he's going to get married, his fiance gets killed by this big old tall statue of an angel, right? And then Eva Longoria Parker, I think that's his sister. I believe that's his sister, or maybe or I take it back. Maybe it's Lindsay Sloan. But anyhow, one of them is the sister, and she gives Lake Bell a diary that Eva Longoria Parker is the fiance. So anyhow, Lindsay Sloan gives Lake Bell diary that Eva kept, and with all this stuff that she's never told anybody. So she uses that to and not solicit, but she uses that to seduce Paul Rudd, right? Because Lindsay wants, the sister wants him to move on and get involved with somebody else. So anyhow, Lake Bell and all of a sudden has a visit by Eva, right? And Eva gets all jealous. She's a spirit, she's a ghost, and she gets all jealous and starts doing all these hauntings, this poltergeist stuff to Lake Bell, and in the end, Eva has to let go so Paul Rudd can move on with his life, and so anyhow, that's an interesting finish. So it's kind of funny, but it's a fun movie to watch. So 1999. Now this is an older movie. Analyze this with Robert De Niro, Billy Crystal, Lisa Kudrow, Chaz Palminteri, Joe Vittorelli, and Tony Beignet. So anyhow, Robert De Niro is this thug, like he's this mobster, right? And he all of a sudden he has this breakdown. You know, he's the leader of this group of these mobsters, and so anyhow he ends up hooking up with Billy Crystal, and who's a psychotherapist or psychologist or whatever, and so he goes to them and goes, yeah, I need your help. Yeah, I need you to help me. And Billy's, no, I don't want to be your therapist, right? Because he's a pain in the ass, right? So Lisa Kudrow is Billy Crystal's fiance, and they're going to get married. So they go on this vacation, and Robert De Niro follows him there, right? So it starts all this crap. And so anyhow, it's a funny movie, interesting, and just Robert De Niro being a pain in the ass in the way he is hilarious. So anyhow, the rest of the movies I gave 1.5 thumbs up. Those were all 2 thumbs up movies. The rest of them are 1.5 thumbs up. Bohemian Rhapsody, came out in 2018. Rami Malek, Lucy Boynton again, Gwilym Lee, Ben Hardy, Joseph Mazzello, Mike Myers, Tom Hollander. I believe, that's a true story on about what's the guy's name? No, why didn't I write it down? Anyhow, it's a true story about the lead singer of Queen, and he says it in the movie. It says it. He's a selfish bisexual guy. How in depth can you go with a movie, or how fun or how interesting can a movie? I wasn't impressed, but the music made up for it, because they had some good music, of course, by Queen. But and it was kind of interesting to see the development of this guy. I think his name was Freddie. I want to say Freddie, but anyhow, it was interesting to see how his life evolved. But again, he was a selfish, and he says that he's a selfish idiot and a selfish jerk. So I wasn't too impressed, but it was kind of interesting to see that development. American Bikini Car Wash, they had a lot of interesting bathing suits or whatever. Jason Lockhart. It came out in 2015. Jack Collison, Junior Richardson, Scarlet Red, Ashley Parker, Kayla Collins, Dora Pirelli, Emma Lane, Kayla Collins, and Tyler Longchamp. It was interesting that this kid, he has his dad. The dad is like a real hard ass, right? You either do this or I'm not going to pay for your school, whatever. So he takes on the car wash as an entrepreneur project and develops it and makes a bunch of money off of it. So it was interesting that how that process all came out and worked out, and but it was kind of cheesy as well. But that's beside the point. Final Girl with Abigail Breslin, Wes Bentley, Aloha. I can't tell who you are, but Aloha. Thanks for stopping by. Kimberly, thanks for stopping by. Final Girl with Abigail Breslin, Wes Bentley, Alexander Ludwig, Logan Huffman, came out in 2015. Now, it was interesting that they got these bad guys, these college kids. They kill all these women, college girls or whatever, and they go on a hunt. They take them into the woods and hunt them down and kill them. And now it was interesting in the way that Abigail Breslin lost both her parents, and I think the CIA does this. I don't know, maybe regularly, but I don't know how often. But I think they do this when somebody loses their parents and they see potential. They'll grab a person and train them to be CIA operatives. So if they train her to be an operative, and she goes and kills all these guys, it was how do they know they need to, from the age of 10 years old or whatever, 8 years old. They're training her to kill these guys to begin with. So I think that's what it seemed like. There's some confusing stuff in there. It wasn't clear. It wasn't clean. It was just, and no real sense of humor in it. There was some humor in it, and there was some stupid stuff in there that happened, and it was funny because of it. But other than that, I don't think it was meant to be humorous, but it was funny anyhow. So anyhow, it was kind of cheesy. Vamps. Oh, now that's if you want to watch a movie that's really that you just want to grab some popcorn and a beer or some soft drinks and just kick back and have a laugh, that's a good movie to watch. 2012, Alicia Silverstone, Christian Ritter, and that was a good part for both of them. Dan Stevens, Richard Lewis, Wallace Shawn, Malcolm McDonald, Sigourney Weaver, and Mary Lou Hunter. Alicia Silverstone is a vampire for years and years, since 1881. I can't remember, but anyhow, for all this time, she's a vampire, and then she bites. I think she bites Christian Ritter and makes her a vampire too, or whatever. But anyhow, Sigourney Weaver is the bad guy in this movie. So and these guys, these police, these detectives are picking up on these vampires in the city, and they want to kill them all. So anyhow, they go through all this mirage stuff, and they have this almost like this AA group, that these group of vampires that don't eat people or bite people. They drink the blood of animals, like rats or whatever instead, right? So that's kind of funny. So they have this group of AA vampires that refuse to bite people. They drink the blood of animals instead, and so they meet regularly, and all this stuff goes on. But anyhow, it's a funny movie, interesting movie, and they had some interesting information about vampires in there that I hadn't never even thought about. Because do vampires, unless probably knew what they looked like before, but after they become a vampire, they don't look like, they can't just go there and do their makeup and do their hair, because they can't see themselves in the mirror, right? So they don't know what they look like afterwards. So that's kind of interesting. I never even thought about that, but that's what that's about. So anyhow, there's all this stuff that goes on there that's kind of interesting. But in terms of a modern day vampire, right? That's what that's about. Vampire Dog, 2012, Colin McKinney, Julia Sarah Stone, Jodie Sarowski, and Amy Mazzio. This dog is a vampire, right? He belongs to this old man, right? And the only thing he feeds on is Jello, right? Red Jello, because otherwise he'll have to drink the blood of humans or blood of somebody's blood. But instead of drinking blood, he eats Jello. So he goes and steals all this Jello, and then the old man dies, and the kid, I believe his name is Colin McKinney, but anyhow, the kid inherits him, and so he has to take care of the dog. And then these other people, they kind of remind me of the couple from the 101 Dalmatians. They want to get the dog and use it to create some kind of I don't know, cosmetics or some kind of something to so they can make a bunch of money because of the DNA structure of the dog, right? So they go through all this chasing around, and there's some funny stuff in it. There's some cheesy stuff in it, but it was funny. It's a laugh if you want to have a laugh for the night. 2010, Shutter Island, Leonardo DiCaprio, came out in 2010. Mark Ruffalo, Ben Kingsley, Michelle Williams, Emily Mortimer, Patricia Clarkson, Ted Levine, John Carroll Lynch, and Elias Koteas. That was almost actually a 1 thumb up, just because it was kind of lame. It wasn't even based. If it was based on a true story, it probably would have been more interesting because they would have more detail. But it was kind of confusing. There's no real laughs in it. It was just kind of blah, right? Type of thing. It was just kind of lame. Mundane, I think is a good word. So yeah, How to Lose Friends and Alienate People with Simon Pegg, Kirsten Dunst, Jeff Bridges, Megan Fox, and Gillian Anderson. Came out in 2008 again. And you know, this Simon this was based on a true story, I believe. Some guy out of England, I believe, is a writer, and he wants to become a famous writer. So they hire Jeff Bridges hires him with his magazine, and he goes on all this stuff, and you know, he's kind of like doesn't seem to fit into the culture, right, of California, because he relocates to California, I believe, and he runs into Kirsten Dunst, who helps him out, and then he actually he has the hots for Megan Fox, right? Duh. And so he tries all this stuff to get her, to win her over, and he finally figures out he has the hots for Kirsten Dunst instead. And so anyhow, interesting movie. Again, kind of cheesy, but interesting. It's good for a few laughs. So, Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood, B. Vang, Henny, her, Christopher Carley, 2008. You know, Clint Eastwood has been, you know, he's notorious for being in all these movies where, you know, the good and bad of the back in the day, and all these movies where, you know, he's a badass and he's like a hero, even though he doesn't claim on being a hero. So he has these Asian neighbors that, you know, these gangs, a couple of gangs in town, and they come up and harass them, and he goes over there and tells them, well, get off my lawn with this shotgun, you know, in their face, right? So they take off and they threaten him, and one of the neighbors is a male. I don't know if he's a teenager or young adult. I think is probably a good word, but anyhow, he takes him under his wing and teaches him all this stuff, and then the very end, and his family are really like greedy, right? You know, just annoying. I don't know what's the word, but anyhow, he doesn't get along with his family, his sons, and I think he has two sons and their families, and he just doesn't get along with them. But anyhow, it was an interesting movie. You know, it wasn't based on a true story type of thing. And the very end, Clint Eastwood goes and all these gangs members kill him in the end, shoot the crap out of him, right? And then all of a sudden, the police are there, and they're there to arrest, and they got all the gang members there lined up and arresting them and gonna put them in prison. But you know, wishful thinking in terms of the ending. It's a nice thought, but you know, those gang members would have been hightail out of there, right? If they would have been involved in any of that, they would have been out the door. You know, it was a fantasy ending. I just couldn't see that it was very realistic or very, you know, an ending that could be authentic. So anyhow, Stealing Harvard, 2002, Jason Lee, Tom Green, Leslie Mann, Dennis Farina, Richard Jenkins, Chris Penn, John C. McGinley. This Jason Lee, I believe, makes a promise to his niece, right? And I can't remember who she is, but I guess I didn't put her name in her. But anyhow, his wife is Leslie Mann in this movie, and he makes a promise to his niece that if she goes to college, he'll pay for it, right? And he forgets about that promise, right? And so they have it recorded. They have it on video. So they the niece gets accepted into Harvard, right? And he's going, okay, don't you want to take a year off or go do something else for now and then come back and go to school? So, so he decides, well, he's going to get the money, make the money. So he's going to steal it. And there's some guy who turns out to be one of the judges in town, right? Who has a safe and has all this money in it. And so he gets caught by the judge, in action of trying to steal this money. So he goes, oh yeah, well, I tell you what, I won't turn you in if he dresses up in his wife's I want to say what his wife's sleeping gown, right? And cuddle with him. So he takes a picture and then you look and he's got this book with all these other guys he's done this to. So anyhow, it was funny. It was cheesy, but it was. I don't know if you may think it's too cheesy for to even watch all the way through, but you can check it out if you like. The Master of Disguise. Now this is 2002, and although it was cheesy, Dana Carvey did a really exceptional, really good job of all these impersonations. And in fact, I don't even know that I've seen Dana Carvey in any movies lately, as of late, even in the last 2 or 3 years. But anyhow, he did a really good job with all these impersonations of all these turtles and all these people and stuff. So Jennifer Esposito becomes his assistant, and he comes from a long family of people that are masters at disguise, right? So at some point, back in the day, they help catch thieves and all this stuff. They they did that as a service to help humanity out. And so at some point they go, I don't want to do this anymore. I can't remember. I think it was James Brolin decided to stop doing it, and so he didn't tell anybody about it. And Dana Carvey's his son, and so he never tells Dana about this. And then finally he ends up, who is it? Harold Gold, I think, is the grandfather, and comes in and teaches him how to be a master of disguise. And I think James Brolin and his wife get kidnapped. I can't remember, but anyhow, he goes into disguise, and Jennifer Esposito is his assistant, and they go through all this stuff about James Brolin, the dad gets and the mother, I don't know who the mother is, but anyhow, they get kidnapped and by this guy that wants to steal all this stuff, the Mona Lisa, the Liberty Bell. He has all this museum important stuff that's worth millions of dollars that he wants to steal. So he uses James Brolin as a master of disguise to go steal it all, right? So he gets caught in the end. Dana Carvey catches him in the end, and blah blah blah. All this stuff happens. It's a funny, interesting movie, especially watching Dana Carvey be in disguise and do all these impersonations. That was pretty interesting. Otherwise, it was kind of cheesy in terms of the script and maybe the rest of the movie. Coming soon, 2000 came out 2000. Bonnie Root, Trisha Bessie, Jenny Simon, Mia Farrow, Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan O'Neal. If you're a teenage female and want to learn about sex and orgasms, it's okay. You might want to watch that movie. I think it's Bonnie Root that's kind of a virgin. She's never experienced an orgasm, so she goes on this journey to go figure out and learn what an orgasm is. So it's like that. Lost and Found, 1999. David Spade, Sophie Marceau, Artie Lang, Patrick Bruhl, Martin Sheen, John Lovitz. Anyhow, David Spade is he owns this restaurant, and he Sophie Marceau moves in as a neighbor, right? So he has a hots for her and helps her out, and she's a musician, but some boyfriend, I think she's out of France, follows her to America and wants to get back together with her, and he kind of finagles her and manipulates her, and David Spade is like, yeah, I'm on to you, dude, you're full of shit, but that's besides the point. So anyhow, they go through all this mirage of events, and Sophie, David Spade helps her with her confidence with playing the I want to say violin? No, not the violin, the big tall violin. But anyhow, I don't know why I can't remember. But anyhow, he takes her to the Hollywood Bowl and has her play there, and so she gains her confidence, and then they do this fundraiser for I can't remember what, but some kind of group, some kind of nonprofit, I think, and David Spade's restaurant caters the event. So anyhow, they're supposed to have who was it? The guy from Vegas who did a whole bunch of anyhow. They're supposed to have this guy sing a song for the wife, who Martin Sheen's wife, who and it's her birthday, right? So he's going to surprise her with this guy coming in and singing the song. So David, he ends up not showing up because he's in an accident or something happens. He doesn't end up he ends up not showing up, and David Spade ends up singing the song. And then the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, Sophie's ex-boyfriend, goes over and cuts off the song, and then David Spade, oh yeah, you should have told me. So he turns on and sings the song live, right? Anyhow, anyhow, it was an interesting movie. It was a fun movie to watch, and again, cheesy. There's some cheesy stuff, so I gave it a 1.5, and that's my story. That's a wrap. Again, Veterans Day coming up. Have some fun. Hang out with some veterans if you aren't a veteran, and just go give them some love, right? And just thank them. If anything else, how many people are out there in the United States, and we're just talking about the United States, that have served to protect this country? How many of there are you? Not even half the population of the United States has gone out into the military to help protect this country. What do you think about that? Is your freedom worth it to just say hi, thank you? Right? Have a God-goddess week. Be the love you are, always have been, and always will be. Aloha.